Joshy, boy.
Do you think it was Joshi or Joshi?
I know it's Toronto, right?
I don't know, but
It's an OVO 10. Is it 55?
shit, I think so. Yeah.
Shit, you should know. It's your podcast.
No, I just hang out, get the soda pops. This is like the only soda I have all week. Are the ones that I have here.
You're healthy.
It's like a treat. No, I'm just poor.
Wow, how much do you spend on groceries?
No. What's happening, everybody? I don't know why I had to do that since Tony's sitting right here, but
What's happening? Episode 55, Nothing to Lose Podcast. I'm Tony, joined by my co-host Joey. What is good? How are you?
everyone, hope everybody's having a great day.
The choice is yours. Did you ever have that in elementary school? Like when they would do the bulletin and then the principal or the person would be like, the choice is yours. Have a great day, guys.
No, I think that we never had a bulletin or nothing, but we did like dare.
And dare.
Yeah. So funny story about that, and I feel like I'm just getting this off my chest right now after so many years of holding it in. But there was a contest for the for like dare where it's like whoever has the best speech, then you win, and you get like a little lion and like a T-shirt.
And you did?
I wrote my speech like an hour before you had to turn it in to the teacher.
Wow.
And I won.
What'd you write about? Do you remember it?
Not doing drugs.
Just not doing drugs.
Yeah, I don't know. Just being a good citizen. I don't know.
Well, it's like in college and high school, you write your paper like the day before, and you still do way better than if you take your time.
I had no idea that I was gonna win though. Like when they called my name, I was like, "What?" I remember I was like 10 years old, and I was like, "Wait, what?" I just wrote it for credit. I didn't write it to win.
I'm just trying to get by.
I'm pretty sure there were some kids out there that really wanted to win. And
Effort.
they like probably did the speech in front of their mom and stuff, and they were like, "Oh, like
How far did you get in a spelling bee?
Never had a spelling bee.
What the fuck? What the
Yeah,
hell, bro? You didn't have a spelling bee. You didn't have a bulletin.
No, I was like too busy like learning shit.
Oh, okay. Your school didn't care about like all this extracurricular waste time.
Oh, that's
Yes.
that's funny. Did you go to public school?
I went to public school.
Yeah, me too.
Okay.
Which one did you go to?
I went to first I started at Valentine, which got closed down. They changed names to it, and then I went to Clearmaco for 4th and 5th grade.
Oh, okay. I went to Lemon Avenue in La Mesa, so probably haven't heard of it.
To La Mesa, and you guys didn't have a bulletin, but you had Dare.
No, I mean no.
Was Dare only for a selected grade?
Yeah,
well?
4th and 5th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same.
Crazy
Anywho, man.
stuff. So everybody, we got a couple of hot topics we want to talk about. Given light of recent events, I'm sure you know what that's going to be. But in the meantime, I kind of ask a question to everybody, right? And this kind of goes back to like being healthy, wealthy, and well. Okay, what are some clear indicators to you guys that you sort of need to change an aspect of your life, right? Because going through day to day is whatever, but I'm talking about specifically your job. Maybe you're satisfied at your job, but what indicators tell you that you need to level up? Or maybe it's a relationship, or maybe it's something else, but I'm really curious about what you guys have to say. So I'm gonna post like a question box on Instagram. Maybe I know I'm gonna get involved, but that's sort of what I want to talk about on the next podcast. We've got a great guest lined up for next week. Today's just me and Tony.
Yeah, if you don't know.
But one of the questions that I want to ask this person is about balance.
Balance. Fuck balance, as people would say.
Ask me what part of balance like fits into this conversation at all though.
I don't know, what kind of balance?
Doesn't it seem that there's 3 parts of your life, okay, and they're never all going well at the same time? And the parts that I'm referring to are financially,
right,
romantically, and socially.
Right.
Okay? It just seems, in my observation in life, like when you're doing great financially, then you've got to sacrifice maybe your social life, maybe your romantic life. When you're doing great romantically, and this happens to everybody, you sort of put your friends to the wayside, and that neglects
your social.
If you're hyped on social, then you don't want to be tied down, and you might be neglecting some work. So, this person that we're gonna have on next week, I want to ask. I'm not gonna identify. It's a surprise. So I'm gonna say him or her.
Stay tuned.
Yep, it's gonna be a surprise. How that person handles balancing that so well, because it seems like they're doing a really great job. So in the meantime, I also want you guys to sort of simmer on that in your little crock pot. Drop top. Hot box.
Oh, right. Smoking on you.
I don't know. What is it?
Hot, something like that?
Yeah, I don't know.
Smoking on
Raindrop. Drop top.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, smoking and cooking the... I don't know.
That's our mixtape right there.
Yeah.
That's how we would sound.
So we've kind of had a little bit of a break in between shows. So Tony, do you have anything that you've been kind of like thinking about recently? Anything that's been plaguing you?
Yeah, man. So 2 days ago, so for the company I work with, one of our employees was in a fire. So he came out of that fire. He only suffered a 2nd-degree burn. So the homie's straight now. He's in good spirits. It couldn't have happened to another more positive attitude person, because some people get something like that happens and their shit just like fuck the world mentality. But this guy was like, no, it's cool. Like, he's bouncing around, cheerful, and like, fuck, man. Like, I don't know how. Even the doctors are impressed how he's recovered so quick. But anywho, he was in his 30s. He's in his 30s, mid-30s, and I was like, fuck, I thought he was in his 20s, like my age. And he told me his whole life story, how he started at SDG. I'm like, you were at SDG and you left and came here. Because, like, where I work is a pretty good company, but SDG is like, hey, you made it. I'm going to retire here type of thing, if you think about it. He's like, yeah, but I wasn't happy, and I had to find my happiness. So I asked him, I'm like, how'd you find your happiness? So like 30 minutes into it, but he went deep. He's like, hey, so I gave my 2 weeks because they weren't. So I guess in SDG, in order to level up, you got to bid yourself out to another department. So he tried to bid up, and then his department manager would not let him leave. He's like, no, you're stuck here. You're the trainee. I need you to. He's like, well, fuck. Here's my 2 weeks. After 10 years, he gave us 2 weeks. I said, what you do? He's like, well, I got $200,000, $100,000 in 401k, and $100,000 in pension. Took the $100k, traveled, had some family shit he had to go through. So Oregon back here, dealt with that for a year.
Okay.
So after a year, he started looking for work. He was just doing whatever. He wasn't like really settled on.
He blew $100,000 in 1 year.
Well, you think about it, like expenses for traveling and to live, and it was him and his wife.
Jesus Christ. Okay.
Yeah, so he was still paying the house front. I don't know if he blew all of it, but he said like most of it was used for that travel and to get through the whole year.
Yeah.
So, anywho, doing side jobs. He said he was doing everything from Uber, Postmates, Amazon. He told me the whole spiel. I don't want to go so into detail, but anyway, it was 2 years before he found out our company.
Okay.
Worked for now he's been in our company for a whole year. That happens to him, and I instantly, after I finished talking to him, I like reevaluated myself because I've only been technically working as a full-time out of college for 4 years. But before that, it seemed like I was like fucking working for a long ass time. I don't know if you felt that way, but it was like, shit, I've been on this grind for a while, but it's only been 4 years. So that actually like toned me down because I'm the type of person to be hard on myself and want to just keep moving forward and keep doing better. But after having that conversation with me, I don't know what clicked on it. Just hearing his story, like saying his 12 plus years that he still doesn't have it figured out, and he's just, his attitude's still straight and narrow, and I'm just over here like, I'm only 4 years in, I got so much more growth, and if I just play my cards right, everything's gonna fall in place, we can't be that type of person that I want this tomorrow. I don't know, it was something like, his story had nothing to do with my person, like what I'm going through, but when you hear something, it makes you think about yourself.
So like
your
gave you
situation.
perspective.
Yeah, exactly. So it was,
all right, and the thing with him is like everything comes in its due time, and to trust the process.
Trust the process, and
that's what I was waiting for.
No, and if you're not happy, to move on, because he said 10 years, bro. Like I gave my life for 10 years to this company, but I wasn't gonna like stick out another 20 just to be happy as a retirement. He's like, I'd rather be happy and working than doing this other nonsense. He's like, yeah, I gave away a good salary.
Yeah.
He was making like good money. Like anybody at SCG they get yearly promotions even if you suck or you don't suck. They just keep moving you up by cost of living.
Well, I mean, not to say that they have a monopoly on the San Diego
but it
gas
is.
and electric.
But it is San Diego gas and
yeah,
electric.
exactly. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Well, damn. All right. Yeah, I think that puts it into really good perspective. That everything just comes. I mean, and that also makes me think about something I saw earlier. That was like, you can get your degree at 21, you can get it at 28.
Mm-hmm.
You can get married at 20, you can get married at 40. So I think that everybody's gonna have their own thing that they need to do, and it's gonna come at their own time.
Yeah. Don't fucking I hate stereotyping, or I hate judging myself on other people. So
comparing yourself to other people's success, yeah.
And I stopped.
Yeah.
I stopped that. Probably Joey knows. I used to do that, or I used to try to I used to flex. I ain't gonna lie. I used to buy shit just to look like me.
Yeah.
And then I stopped, and it just make yourself happy. Like you said, there's 3 things you can't be financial and what'd you say?
Romantic and social, yeah.
And right now I can say I'm not as social as I wish I could be. But I'm fine financially and romantically, but the social part is kind of lacking because you don't have time for all 3.
Exactly.
Maybe if you're fucking, came from money and have enough time to do the other 2 things because your finances is taken care of.
Yeah. I mean, you just have to do something like invest or some shit,
But if somebody has to figure it out, let us know.
Yeah.
If you think you do.
Yeah.
I don't think they do. You think they do?
No. So that kind of brings me into the next topic, and this is an obvious one.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're listening to this podcast right now, I'm sure you already know, but Alabama state legislation has signed into law an outright ban on abortion. And there's no, special circumstances for rape or incest. And if a doctor in Alabama performs an abortion, that doctor is sentenced, the sentencing is 99 years in prison for that.
Bro.
Do you have any thoughts on that? Oh, and by the way, total disclaimer that me and Antonio are men.
I classify as a man.
Yeah, we're not
Gender,
women, and
male.
we understand that this is a women's issue, and the only people who should have valued opinions should be women, right? So total disclaimer, but we're just gonna tell you what we think about it, regardless. Okay?
It's wrong in so many aspects. How the hell could it? It's all men that made that choice. There was no woman down there, and they're all white, and it's just nasty, bro. That we live in that 21st century. And we're still dealing with this shit like this. Men wanna do this type of shit to women out there. And I fully, I'm supportive of all the women out there that are posting shit and reposting that stuff. I love it, man. I'm gonna post shit today on the Nothing to Lose podcast and just keep reposting shit.
Oh, you're gonna get political with it.
Yeah, nothing to lose.
Yeah, nothing.
I just want to support people out there that are doing it right and then see what's wrong in this case. I'm not. Joey knows I'm not 100%, I know all my facts and shit, but I have enough that I can have a discussion about it, and this would have been great to have Nancy and your girl, Shalia, just for this.
Oh, man, yeah, for sure.
You gotta probably get them a couple of drinks just so they can get in there.
Get in their zone.
And
then it would be women power hour. Me and you just take a back seat.
Yeah, I would probably only put 2 mics and just hit record and behind the phone and just chill.
The popcorn, yeah.
But dude, it's just, it's disgusting, bro. I having a sister, having a mom, and just being so close to girls in my family, this is disgusts me.
I agree.
And I can't say anything. Like I said, we're married, but I don't want to.
Yeah, and at the same time, just like you said, the people who put this into law were all men except for the one female governor, but she felt like she was doing God's will. But at the same time, by definition,
and she was also protecting her seat.
Yeah, well, for sure, yeah. But at the same time, right? There's supposed to be a separation of church and state. So for her to validate her actions of writing this into law by saying she's doing God's work kind of makes it null and void in my eyes, right?
Mm-hmm. That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's separation, but no separation.
Yeah, it's a really, really weird.
It's kind of like when you don't know what to say, and that's the first thing that came to our mind. Let me throw that out there.
Well, I mean, not
throw
only
my
that,
religion card out there.
It's just, man, it's just another form of discrimination, right?
Yeah.
It's another form of discrimination because
it's disgusting.
It just, it really, really gets under my skin.
And the fact that like like it's not even getting that much like notice, honestly. Like other stupid shit that goes on just gets blown out of proportion. And like this doesn't get like as much attention as I think it deserves.
Oh no, I think that the whole media thing, not really talking about it too much, is awful. I think that normal Americans, like normal women on social media, are the ones who are giving it the most exposure.
Right.
Like Shalia or Nancy.
Yeah. Just posting shit out.
Yeah, exactly. But like you don't see this shit being run. This is a giant issue. This is setting a legal precedent that's going to challenge Roe v. Wade.
Our president's been kind of quiet since this happened.
Oh yeah, he's not gonna say
it's just for your information. Like he's just been under his.
Well, I mean.
And when he says something, it's going to be something so stupid.
Well, because check this out. He's up for re-election, right? So if he says anything, then that automatically like reduces his voter base by 50%.
That's true.
Because half the people are pro-choice, half the people are pro-life. So if he was like, "Oh, this is a great victory for all Christians," then boom, all the pro-choice people gone. And then if you say something like, "Oh, this is an infringement on women's rights," then boom, all the pro-life people gone. So he's not going to say anything at all.
Yeah. Hey, by the way, while we were talking about this political, you look pretty fly in your suit with Ryan.
Yeah.
Supporting the homie Ryan. I like that.
Yeah. We talked about it on the podcast. He's campaign manager for a running city councilman.
Yeah, so that was pretty dope to see you there.
Yeah.
Took him to dinner after. Damn, it was a nice bro day.
Oh, man, he's done so much for me. So the only thing he did was he asked me to attend and like just show up, and I was like, okay, cool.
Did you dress like that because he told you, or you're like,
no,
let me level up?
No, he told me. He told me that it was a political fundraiser.
Okay.
Right. So yeah, I was like, okay. I didn't wear a tie, but I wore my nice French blue suit with that white shirt. Yeah.
Haven't worn this in a while. I gotta take it out.
Yeah, actually, I wore it to that wedding. So.
It's getting more use than mine.
Yeah.
Excuse me. But all in all, man, if shit like this happens, bro, like as minorities or just as our generation, we should blow it up more and actually stand behind it.
Okay, well, I guess if there's any women out there who want to use the podcast as a platform, I'm okay with it.
Amen. You know where to find us.
Yeah. At me.
Don't at me if you can't at me.
You know what else? I'm just gonna say this piece because it kind of hit me, but shit like this really makes me reevaluate my own perspective on women.
Oh yeah.
And the things that like I take for granted, and the things that women go through on a daily, we don't think about it.
Nope.
We so I mean, having this happen, and I don't know, dude, it just made me reevaluate the way that I view women, the way that I want to treat women,
right,
and all that, bro. I'm just thankful that me and you are in California.
Yeah, right. Never gonna drive to Alabama anyway, so we're good. Never have to drive through it.
Yep. Just throw the whole state away. Throw the whole state away. That's it, bro.
You think other states follow them?
Georgia, Ohio. I'm not sure, but I think Kentucky. I think that there's 5 other states out there that are trying to sign anti-abortion legislation into effect. Think about that. Ohio is one of the 5. Ohio is, I'm pretty sure that it was a blue state.
Not anymore. I think it's red.
That's crazy.
Fact check us right now.
I know, right?
But I'm not sure.
But I'm thinking they've got Cleveland, which is like the majority is minority based, right? They've got a couple other like really strong suburbs that would be minority based. So I just automatically assumed that Ohio would have been. Yeah, man. I don't know. Whatever.
Just how we repost stupid shit on IG and Snapchat. Let's repost this shit.
Yeah.
It happens like this.
For sure.
It affects all of us. It's not we're men, but it still affects us. Because it's the women we love. It's the people that we go through it day to day.
Honestly, like it's gonna challenge the Supreme Court, and like if this wins, then that opens up a door for the rest of the 49 states to do the exact same. Right. And then let me ask you something. But you know how normal Americans, right? Like just the average American, they don't like Sharia law, which is like the Islamic law. What's the difference between doing that and what we're doing now. So like infringing women's rights and making like a really strong male dominant presence. It's like the same damn thing, you know? So
yeah, there's not much.
exactly, but it's just called American law and Sharia law, you know? Whatever.
Just following someone else's lead.
Now, what else I want to talk about is something that keeps popping up on my goddamn feed and like whatever. Vaccinations.
Besides dogs?
Yeah, well, besides dogs. Vaccinations versus anti-vaxxers.
Mm-hmm.
Were you vaccinated when you were a kid?
Yeah.
Of course you fucking were. Of course you were.
Yeah.
It's science.
It's science.
It's science.
You have to.
It's
You go
science.
for a checkup. They tell you like, hey, those vaccinations are due.
God.
You have that little card that your mom and dad collect,
Yeah.
and the yellow one, and
Yes,
they're
because
also proud of getting that filled up.
yes, because vaccinations have almost decimated all of the disease outbreaks that have happened in American history.
Mm-hmm.
When was the last time that there was like influenza outbreak or like measles or smallpox? Like
No.
not. I don't. Oh my God.
But I can tell you one thing: I haven't got a flu shot in the last 3 years. Haven't got sick.
Flu shots are seasonal. I mean, like vaccinations for diseases that will potentially kill you and can be spread with a single touch. You know, like since like the time of Cortez, who came over and wiped out the Native Americans with, you know, measles and smallpox. You know, we've been trying to vaccinate against it, and now in recent years, because of some whatever bullshit, people are not vaccinating their kids, and that's leading to outbreaks. I don't know. But also a really strong point that anti-vaxxers are making is like they're like riding the back of the abortion movement, right? And they're saying shit like, you can't say my body, my choice, but then also force your kids to get vaccinated. It's like, okay, no, because number one, abortion's affecting the women having the abortion, and that's it.
Right.
If your neighbor has an abortion, how is that going to affect you?
It doesn't.
It's not. If your neighbor is not vaccinated for measles,
that affects me.
That affects you.
That affects me.
That affects your kids.
That affects everyone living around you and in the area.
Vaccinate your goddamn kids.
Alright.
You know what I'm saying? Like there's like one of them is affecting the woman's body, the person who's making the choice. The other one is affecting everybody in a 5-mile radius.
I'm not defending the people that don't vaccinate their children, but the reason why they don't do it is because they feel like they can catch more.
Well, and they also feel like vaccinations are a government designed thing that's going to, you know, eventually decimate the intelligence of the kids, and you know, now they're gonna be born with all these syndromes, and they're gonna get this and that and this and that.
Yeah. It's like there's not, I don't know. I'm not a doctor, so I will stop myself there. But I'm surprised it's showing up on your feed. I haven't seen much on mine.
Yeah, for some reason, I'm friends on Facebook with a lot of people our age who are moms.
Oh, okay. There you go.
And I don't know what it is, but like those people, they're our age, like they're in our generation.
And they're not vaccinated?
They're like anti-vax. Yeah, they're not. They're not. It just doesn't make any sense to me, dude.
History repeats itself.
Yeah, but I mean, like, for what? For what, though, you know? Like, why? Why do we as Americans, why do we always have to learn shit the hard way? Why? Why can't we just learn something once, be like, okay, let's not do that shit again, and then not do that shit again? You know? Look at, you know, like the women's rights movements, look at the minority rights movements, look at all these things. It's like, I don't give a shit. Fashion can be circular where it all comes back around in due time, but people's rights, that can only be linear, and it can only be linear in a progressive movement.
I think they're doing this on just the medicine just being so fucking stuff for shit. Like they just want to like regulate it more.
Well, I mean, like I'm all for regulation. I'm all for regulation on a scientific and health basis.
Right, because it's like the same shit like you see on your label when you eat something, like stuff that's on there, corn syrup and all this other shit.
It's just dumb. It's just dumb, man. You know, it's just absolutely dumb because that anti-vax kid can go in a Chuck E. Cheese and they can contract smallpox or measles.
Mm-hmm.
Then they can go to school the next day.
Yeah. And then catch it.
And now, you know, in a small rural town, you've got an outbreak of, Spanish flu or measles, smallpox, whatever.
The kids catch everything quicker than adults, just by touch.
Oh, absolutely. But if you catch it as an adult, it's actually a lot more harmful. Like, you have a higher chance of dying if you catch it as an adult,
right?
As opposed to if you get it when you're a kid.
Yeah. Jen went to like a baby shower like years ago and caught some shit from the babies in there, and then
what
was out. I forgot the exact name, but 3 days, bro, just on bed rest and couldn't do much, and she just felt like it was like the worst pain ever. She's like, I wouldn't, not even on my worst enemy would I want this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it affects everyone. Like, I get your point of it, like wanting to vaccinate them, but then if you're not gonna vaccinate them, then better have them in a window or somewhere that they're not contagious to other people.
Also, people, if you disagree with me, then let me know and show me some evidence. Show me some shit.
Or your reason why you're.
Yeah.
But
because as of right now, like, it's science.
It's science.
It's science. Like, people understand how the,
It's science.
Human body works. Yeah, whatever. All right, I think that you got something cool you want to talk about too.
Hey, Joey.
Yeah.
When you're in Lyft or Uber and like that Uber driver or Lyft driver is just like, he wants to start a conversation with you. He's hyped. Or he's like, how's it going? Everything all right?
For sure.
Right? And you're like either hitting somewhere and you're just trying to wrap up text or just like catch up with people, or you're getting picked up and you're just trying to go home and like crash out.
Or you're buzzed.
Or you're buzzed and you don't want to talk to anybody.
Uh-huh.
Well, as of today, on Twitter, Uber now new feature that lets you say quiet driver on one swipe. So now you're going to be able to request that Uber and also tell that driver that I don't want to talk to you.
Interesting.
Which I think is fresh, because the drivers also don't want to interact, but for their rating's sake, they're going to interact with you just so they get an okay rating. So it helps both parties.
I actually don't rate drivers if they, like, I just won't give them a rating if they are, like, super gabby.
Mm.
I think that's better than giving them, like, a 1 star. It's just no, like, not even rating them.
Yeah.
And then, like, the guys who have been chill and just kind of like, all right, like, ready to go. And then they just chill, put on the music, 5 stars.
Drop you off at the right location.
The right location. You know what was worse? And, like, this really wasn't his fault. But one time I got an Uber in the morning driving to work, right? And it was like this older gentleman. Mm-hmm. He was not too old, like crazy old, but he was probably like in his 60s, you know? And it was in the morning, like 6:30, and it was kind of cold, so obviously the windows are up. But homeboy kept talking to me, and he had real bad morning breath. So, like, I couldn't roll down the windows.
Did you in the front seat?
I was in the back seat, and I was still like...
Still got it back there?
I was like, damn.
Is it one of those drivers that's like...
No, like, he was just talking.
Ahead.
Yeah, he was talking, but, his breath filled the cabin real quick, and I was just like, God damn it. Like, just rolling out of bed, take a shower, go to work. I think I Ubered because it was like rainy or some shit.
One day I don't drive to work.
Yep. And then I was just like, oh my God.
Pay the price. Yeah, I'm for it, but it's also, I can see people saying like, oh, now we're treating them like taxi cabs or something like that, which I still don't think you are, because they know where to pick you up. They know, your exact fare. You're still not surcharged of the extra miles or whatever. Just
like you said though, like I really don't feel like these Lyft drivers and Uber drivers, I don't feel like they want to talk to you. Like, they don't give a shit if you're going to go to U31 and get trashed.
Unless you're on the same conversation, like, hey, you see somebody's hat or something like that, You know who you want to talk to when you just, right at the get-go. Like,
I think so too.
You walk into a room and you see somebody like, oh, you're like, that's my guy. I'm going to go over there and I'm going to hang out with this crew because I think I get along with them.
Oh, also, not to change subjects, but I have a word of advice based on exactly what you said.
Mm-hmm.
I was just kind of asking around about, like, how people approach people when they're dating. Like, if you see somebody who's attractive, like, whatever, how do you talk to them? And came to the realization...
Shorty, can I holler at you?
No.
Can I have your number?
This is just some sort of...
But can I have your number?
No, you have my number. Anyway.
Have you seen that SNL?
Yeah. No, that was Mad TV.
Yeah, Mad TV.
Yeah.
But can I have your number?
That's old as shit. Yeah.
I just saw it last week.
The back of your head is ridiculous. Yeah.
But can I have your number?
So my advice to anybody who's sort of on the fence is, like, honestly, people know whether they want to be with you or screw you or whatever within the first 5 minutes of meeting you. So you might as well just like say what's up. That is my advice. Like if he or she doesn't want to bang, then you're not gonna bang. They'll probably let you know. But if they do, they already know in the first 5 minutes of meeting you.
Yeah. And if they're just gonna play it, they'll just write it out.
Give it a go. Give it a go. That's all I'm saying.
Give it a go.
Yeah. That is my tip of the day.
Tip of the day. I want to have someone that's in that field.
What field? Dating?
In that dating, like someone that thinks they're an expert.
Like a dating therapist?
Dating something, like whatever the fuck you would call them. I don't know what you would call them.
Why do you want to have a person like that on? What sort of insight you think they can give?
I don't know. I wonder if we ask them questions and would we agree with what their response would be.
Okay.
So just another perspective, something for the listeners and for us. I think a lot of us would like justify asking someone that's so-called professional in this field.
Yeah, like what their professional, college graduate opinion means.
I don't even know how do you get certified for that?
Therapy, like probably.
But there's marriage, but like what's
psychology? Like people can study human sexuality.
Okay.
And whatever laws of attraction. Who knows? But honestly, I know that he or she is gonna want to bang or talk within the first 5 minutes of seeing you. So just might as well say hi.
You heard it here first. 5-minute bang.
You heard 5-minute bang.
Is that the title?
That is not the title. That is not the title.
That's clickbait.
Yeah.
Golden State or Portland? Ever watching the game right now?
I honestly can't stand Golden State. I'm sorry, but I really hope that Portland wins. How about Kawhi?
Hey, that shot in the corner.
He's from San Diego, baby.
Drop.
San Diego, baby. He's an Aztec.
LA.
He's an Aztec.
Yeah, but he's from LA.
He's an Aztecian.
Okay. 1 year.
Alright.
2 year.
Whatever. He's an Aztecian.
Okay.
Anyway.
That's our hot sports intake.
That's our hot sports. Kawhi was at SDSU. Alright.
Logic's album, did you listen to it?
Yeah, I did.
Rating?
I don't like it.
You don't like it?
No.
Wow. I think
he changed after the divorce.
He changed after the divorce?
He changed. I don't know what the hell he's talking about. He's trying to, okay, and whatever, if you like Logic, that's fine. But he's trying to do a J. Cole.
Oh.
He's trying to do a KOD. What did KOD do? He personified himself as one of these, dumbass people who really value money, drugs, women, all these things. And he wrote prose from the perspective of somebody who valued these things. It was genius, and it was like, sarcasm, and it was everything that you wanted in a song that was just completely brilliant. It was brilliant. Brilliant.
Very interesting.
Brilliant. And now, what did Logic do? Oh, I'm sorry. He wrote a whole album from the perspective of somebody who valued drugs and money and things like that.
And fame.
I think that he wrote too many albums about not having a personal identity between being black and white. If you haven't noticed, like every one of his albums before then have been about, oh man, like I'm not white enough for white people, but I'm not black enough for black people. So I know the struggle from both sides, and like every one of his albums have been that.
Yeah.
And now he releases an album that's trying to be like J. Cole-esque with his message. I don't know, dude. Whatever. What did you think? Obviously, you liked it. I'm sure you liked that track with who do you have on? He had one with Eminem.
I didn't like that Eminem one.
You didn't like it?
Because we listened to it. Remember, like 2 weeks ago when you were here at the house.
G-Eazy.
I like the one with G-Eazy. I like the.
He had one with Wiz Khalifa.
Icy. I'm so icy. Something like that.
I
more or less, I like the sound of it. I haven't, just because it's something different from it. Okay. And I can see your side where he's cutting a piece of J. Cole. But this is the era that everybody fucking steals shit from everybody, bro. Like, you see somebody do something and you'll finesse it to your way or just copy it word for word because you saw it somewhere else.
But still, bro,